Hello, my name is Mario for X Bodybuilding, and welcome to the channel.
Hey, 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 hey,
Hey guys, so today is going to be my 2-week update from between July 26th to August the 8th. So before we get started, I'd just like to ask you, if you enjoy this content, to please subscribe, comment, like, tell a friend, it'd be appreciated. And don't forget to stay to the end of the video for a little more inspiration. So anyways, let's get started. So if you guys watched my past, 2 updates, I've been going through a lot of healing. So I haven't been really getting any PRs. I got like a couple, but nothing to really talk about. So just want to comment on that. So in order to get the size you want, the strength you want, you need to be functioning at the highest level possible, okay? So any knots, any old injuries, any scar tissue, anything tight needs to be dealt with. All you guys out there will know that as little boys, we like to get hurt. We do things without thinking about it, and we get hurt, okay? For me, a lot of injuries growing up, the healthcare system never really fixed them. They just like give you crutches and, you know what I mean, go home. Put a cast on, stick a pin in your finger, you know what I mean, and then not really much rehabilitation, not really bringing things back to where they belong. So a lot of these injuries have caused scar tissue, imbalancements, knots, changed my structure, so there's a lot going on there. So in order to fix this, okay, there needs to be patience. In my massages I've been getting the last 2 times, we've went to a lot of deep issues, and we released a lot of stress in my body. Now that's all awesome at first, but then the body has to recover. The body has to restructure itself. It has to learn its new self. Okay, so in doing that, you can't really be going to PRs and doing that. So for me, I've been staying more around like light, medium workouts, just to bring in the blood flow, just to help the body learn to find its new self. So you need to really focus on that. So you have to be patient, and psychologically you have to learn to be patient, because when you're used to hitting the gym and really getting a good pump and then going home, and then you can't do that for a month or more, that's what's going on for me right now. I'm beyond the more part. You know what I mean? You may find it discourages you, but you can't. Your focus is on becoming the best, to getting your body to the best place it can be. In order to do that, you have to release all injuries, all old injuries, knots, whatever is obstructing you has to be released. Without doing that, you're not going to get to that point there. So you have to be patient. You have to stay intelligent about it, be wise, and you know what I mean? Things will come. So basically, there'll be no talk about any PRs today, because there's really nothing to talk about. So what I also want to talk about is like your mental health, okay? For me, the past 2-3 weeks, my car's been giving me some issues, okay? Like I think about 3 weeks ago, I was coming home, and I was like on a highway, and then all of a sudden the end just started to vibrate, the engine lights started flashing, and I was like, okay. So I'm still like 50 minutes away from home, and the first thought that came into my head, I need a new car. Like, how healthy is that? That's the first thought, right? Real healthy. It's the thought you want to hear, you want to come into your head when that happens. So I'm like, okay, so what? Do I call a tow truck? Like, I'm like on the side of the highway. I'm like, so what do I do? I'm like, you know what? I just thought to myself, it's still starting, because I stopped it. I looked, there's no smoke, no nothing. I'm like, okay, so it was still starting. I'm like, oh, how about if I just go slowly, put my hazards on, let me go slowly, see if I can make it home. So I did that. I made it home, So that was on a Saturday. Then on a Sunday I wasn't going anywhere, so it's not a big deal. So then on Monday morning I called my mechanic, and I mean, they have a great system there. You bring your car in, and if you need a loaner, they give you a loaner. So it's not like I was stuck, right? So brought the car in, got towed in, brought the car in, got a loaner, still got to do all my stuff, right? But the thing is that the part about mental health issues is that I got all these thoughts going through my head. What if I need a new car? What if this? What if that? And I was actually physically feeling sick at sometimes. As well as I was thinking, I had thoughts of like, not eating or whatever. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, well, how's this going to help me? If I have these negative thoughts, if I stop eating properly, if I stop my workouts, how is this going to help me? It's not. I got two ways to deal with it. I could do it being engrossed in fear, right? Or I could do it in the most intelligent, positive way that I can at that moment of my existence. I chose that one there. So I kept my eating kept my eating up. I kept my workouts up. I didn't fall into that darkness, right? Sure, I could feel it every now and then, but I didn't fall into it. I kept doing my other stuff that I was doing. I got 2 other channels. I kept doing my video work on my other channels. Kept doing this one here, and you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden the secretary calls me up, or the woman behind the counter says, well, she goes, what you need is new spark plugs and coils. Okay, so it costs around, like just under $900, which is still a lot of money, but it wasn't like what I thought, right? And then I'm like, well, I looked it up, and I guess every 80,000 to 100,000 kilometers, the Nissan Altima needs new spark plugs and coils. And I remember when I bought it at 120,000 kilometers, right now it's just over 200,000. When I bought it was at 120,000 kilometers, and the guys that did the safety and the check out, it was obviously a used car, they said that when they got it, they changed the spark plugs and coils. So that made me think. So then I looked it up on the internet, and I guess every 80 to 100,000 kilometers you have to change the spark plugs and coils. I'm like, okay, so that was just me not knowing and not getting that done. If I would have got that done, if I would have knew, I would have got it done. That would never happen. So anyways, so all that worrying for what, right? So then there was another issue. Was before that I could hear some rattling underneath my car. I was like, maybe it's not a big deal. I'll just wait till I get my service in November, and I'll get them to look at it, right? But then after that happened with the spark plugs, I'm like, you know what? Because then when I picked it up, I thought maybe that would have cured it. I don't know why, but I thought maybe that would have cured it. But it was still happening, right? And I'm like, well, you know what? Because of that, I'm just gonna get them to check it again, right? So I brought it in again. So yesterday she called me up, and she said that the catalytic converter that I had put in the beginning of the year is faulty. So that's what was making a noise. So that's covered under warranty. So it may cost me nothing, or maybe just cost me a little bit for whatever, I don't know, right? So then I go, well, I thought I saw like the middle pipe with a big, like the top caved in or something, right? I go, can you guys check it out for me? She goes, yeah, she'll check it out. So I haven't heard anything back from that, but at the end of the day, it turns out to be not as bad as all the thoughts were bouncing around in my head was making it out to be. So at the end of the day, guys, my theory is focus on the facts you know, not the facts you think you know, okay? So if something pops in your head, and you know what I mean, and don't just believe that. Believe in what you know for sure, especially when you're dealing with other people. I found lately that I've been focused on that, and I've seen that what I was thinking about a certain individual wasn't always true, okay? So be very careful with that. Just because you have a thought about something or someone, right? Unless that person told you, or physically like that's the issue with the car, or like for me, did I know for sure I had to buy a new car? Did I know that for sure? No, I didn't. And this proves it right there. I didn't know that. So why have that thought in my head? Okay, why did that pop into my head? Right? Because there's some supernatural thing going on? Like, no. Guys, you could go down the rabbit hole. You cannot stick to what you know for sure, okay? Not the stuff that you think you know. It'll make your life a lot easier, a lot less drama, so much more peace in your life. So anyways, so going from there, yes, that's about it. Like I said, kept everything going as usual. My healing, like after all that my healing is like awesome. I'm just leaping forward in my healing. I'm getting a lot stronger. Sure, I'm not doing PRs, but my strength, my health, my growth is amazing. So no complaints. So anyways, so going from there, we'll leave it at that. Just wanted about the IFBB Pro for the past 2 weeks. If you saw my last video, I was talking about Nextzilla. Obviously, that's a situation where I just heard something from Nextzilla or whatever, right? And I just thought that was true, right? That's me not knowing for sure if it's true or not. So I shouldn't have never really talked about it the way I did with him. Because afterwards, we found out that maybe his sponsors or whatever wasn't as bad as originally thought. So basically, I did not know the whole truth. I did not know both sides, so I shouldn't have really commented on that. So lesson learned. Again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna get caught by fake news, but I guess you just naturally trust people. But I guess we just gotta be more focused, more discerning, more self-educating ourselves on what we hear before we make comments. So yeah, lesson learned there again. Now I just want to talk about, I was watching Nick Walker this morning. He was doing a massage therapy video, and his therapist was saying that he goes, your muscle growth happens not in the gym. And the gym is where you tell your muscles to grow. The growth happens outside the gym. So it is very important to do soft tissue work. No matter what you do, he goes, you have to do it, because if you don't, he says there's a window of flexibility. The more you make yourself less flexible, the more susceptible you are to injuries. So he goes, if you're not doing that, he goes, well, what are you gonna do, right? He goes, your potential, your level at where you can get to it will only be so much, right? So very important, guys. Do your soft tissue work. Do what you need to do to fix yourself. That's what I've been saying of pretty much all my videos. You need to function at the highest level you can in your health-wise in order to get the looks and strength that you want. So that comes from a professional. Second, I want to talk about Ivan bodybuilding. I don't think he likes Derek Lunsford too much. If you guys watched him, he's made a point of saying that he doesn't like the guy's character. But one thing I want to say is that he was talking about he's like, well, I don't see Derek Lunsford hasn't really grown from the last Olympia, this and that. So I saw the video this morning with him and Hani Rambod over in Edmonton, Canada, and I'm like, well, I didn't put any pictures side by side, but to me, he looks bigger than he did last year, in my opinion. So I don't know where I just, it's like. So Derek is just gonna not grow. So he's gonna win the Olympia, just stay the same. He's not gonna make any improvements. That doesn't really make much sense to me. And considering he's got Hani Rambod in his corner, what Hani's just gonna go, yeah, well, that's it. We're gonna stay the same way we were last year. Just and come in, we're ready for the Olympia, and then that's it. Hani's not gonna get any growth out of his athlete. And Derek's not getting any growth. I don't know. My opinion, I think he probably grew. So I don't know where Ivan's getting that from, but I just like to make that comment because I always hear him say that. I'm like, really doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Second, Hunter Labrada. I saw a picture of him the other day. The guy looks a lot bigger, right? And I guess for him, he took some time to really rest into the new year and all that. And obviously it looks like it's really helped the guy out. So, he props to Hunter. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, yeah, Nextzilla's done. Yeah, I think that's it. So, all right, we'll leave it there. see you in 2 weeks, or well, probably earlier. I'll be posting a video next week. So anyways, have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.